All right, everybody, welcome back. Brand new episode of the Sarah Fraser Show. Now, today I do something called TLC Talk. TLC Talk is every single week I recap the biggest gossip, the rumors. We talk about all the fun stuff in the TLC world. From 90 Day Fiancé to obviously Sister Wives season 19 is happening right now. So the tea is red hot for all things Sister Wives. Today on the podcast, I have multiple things. First of all, many people slide in my DMs all the time or here on my TikTok, because, you know, I record these like live on my TikTok too. And they say to me, Coyote Pass is not paid off. Coyote Pass is not paid off. Well, In Touch Weekly has just dropped a brand new story confirming or denying, is in fact Coyote Pass paid off, or are Cody and Robin going to be on the streets in a little rinky-dink RV trying to live on that spot because they ain't making the payments? We're going to talk about that. We also have an update from a fellow TikToker who's very well connected to the whole AUB and the Mormon lifestyle. She confirms that Meri Brown has been given a release by the church and is no longer married. I mean, you know, I guess in the eyes of the church, we knew they were obviously divorced, so Cody could marry Robin. But she confirms that Meri has been granted the release by the church. Meri dropped a video yesterday essentially telling us a little update on her happiness, on, you know, people have been saying to her past couple of seasons that she's not worthy, that she has low self-esteem. So Meri's clapping back at people. That we're going to talk about. And then on top of that, Michael Ilasami from 90 Day Fiancé has come out and he has revealed if, in fact, Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner are helping him with his legal battle. That, and then, like I mentioned, at the end of this episode, I will do a recap of Welcome to Plathville season 6. Is this the end of the show? Because a lot of people feel that the episode, the finale that aired last night is, in fact, it, that the show is done. And I got to kind of say, I think I agree. But anyhow, we'll get into that. All right, let's start with all kinds of Sister Wives tea because we have a ton of it. And from the start, let's get into Coyote Pass because I get this message all the time. Coyote Pass is not paid off. They still owe money on Coyote Pass. Well, I told you guys on many of the lives that I've done that Coyote Pass is paid off. Okay, no, I'm not. I have 10,000 spam phone calls a day. I swear to God. Anyhow, Coyote Pass is completely paid off. So In Touch Weekly just dropped a news article today confirming what I have said about Coyote Pass. Coyote Pass was purchased in 2018. For all of y'all that follow Sister Wives, you all know this because it's such a focal point of so many seasons of Sister Wives. But it is the compound of land that Cody, Robin, Janelle, and Meri, by the way, are still on the deed, part of the deed of the land. And they were all supposed to build this big Sister Wives compound. And Robin was supposed to be on that giant porch, which P.S. we realize they already have. They have this like gorgeous porch on the house that they're selling. And they were all supposed to be living happily ever after, building their own homes on this compound, living this sister wife life. Well, that, of course, is shot to hell. I mean, they all hate each other. For the love of God, none of them are speaking. So that's not working out. So, but, you know, a lot of people have had these rumors that it's not paid off. They originally paid in 2018, $820,000. According to a deed of release, which In Touch got this summer, in June of 2023, a $340,000 payment was made to completely pay off the land. It is paid off. And I'm just going to say it. You know, one of my most listened to podcast episodes in the past couple of weeks has been my theory that Cody and Robin are rich. And I'm going to say it again. They're rich, you guys. If you're coming up with a lump sum of $340K a year ago, you have plenty of money. They are doing very, very well. In June of 2023, an additional plot of land for $170,000 was paid off, which is in the name of Robin and Cody. Now, I believe this is another piece of land connected to Coyote Pass. It is only in Cody and Robin's name, but boom, that was also paid off in 2023. So if we're all doing the math here about how wealthy Cody and Robin are, because they have a lot of money. What is, oh my God, here we go. I can't do any math. What's 170 and 340? Someone on my TikTok, do it. Do it. What's the math? What's 170,000 plus 300, oh my God, 340. What is that total? Oh my God, somebody will do the math. It's four. Well, no, it's more than that, isn't it? Five something, 510. Oh, for God's sakes. Alicia, thank you so much. Alicia Cruz with the math mind. Okay, are these poor people? No, these people are rich, honey. If they came up with $510,000 in payments, they are rich. So once and for all, Coyote Pass is paid off. Now, In Touch did release this story this morning where they do say that Cody and Robin remain behind on a tax bill. They are deemed late, and the tax bill is roughly for $4,858. If they could come up with 510K a year ago, I'm going to put it out here to say they're definitely going to be able to make this $5,000 payment, but they are a bit late at this point. Everyone still wonders whose name is on what. Well, there still is a portion of Coyote Pass where Meri, Janelle, and Cody's names are all on it. So there you have it. But In Touch can also confirm as of August 29th of this year, so just a month ago, no active permits to build on Coyote Pass have been submitted at this time. And full, I don't think I can say your TikTok name. I'm on TikTok. This person is like an inappropriate TikTok handle. Okay, full R word says, but can they live on the land? I think they can live on the land. Yes. I hear conflicting things about that too. People say they can't build on the land. I don't think that's true. But at least as of now, they're making no attempts to, in fact, take permits out to build on the land. Okay. So anyhow, there's your big update on Coyote Pass. We've all wanted to know. Well, now we know. The other thing is Janelle. A lot of people were concerned if Janelle and Maddie were okay in North Carolina with these historic floods. I mean, Helene has just wreaked havoc. Ugh. My former radio co-host, who I adore so much, Mel, her home was hit so hard in Tampa. It's so devastating. But Janelle put out on her Instagram this week, she's okay. And she also said there's a ton of scammers going around and scams going around for people to donate money to help those impacted by Helene. So she tagged at Southern Living Magazine, and she says they're doing a fundraiser for anyone impacted by Helene, and they're very reputable. So if you want to donate, there's an option for you, okay? So you have it. But she is doing okay. Maddie Brown announced that she is expecting baby number 4. Maddie and Caleb going to have their 4th child March of 2025. They're going to have a full house, a full freaking house. They're going to have Janelle living there. They're launching Teda. They're going to be getting into the flower business and now a 4th baby. Hello. A lot going on for the Browns. But she looks great, by the way. Maddie posted a picture on her IG. She looked absolutely gorgeous and fantastic. Meri has been given a release from the church. Meri has been given a release from the church. So I guess, what does that mean in Mormonism? You know, it's like Catholicism, it's annulled. Does that mean essentially like it's wiped from the books? It's like it didn't happen? Or is that what being when you're in Mormon life in the AUB is all about? I got to follow this woman back, but is everybody following Notes to Self 444? She has a fire TikTok. She grew up with Christine and Meri. I guess I wonder how they all feel about her. I wonder how Christine and Meri feel about her. But she grew up with Christine and Meri. Her now husband knows Robin, and her dad is the head of the AUB. Okay, well, how does he feel about you having a TikTok? I want to follow this woman because she's the one that spilled the tea. She went live the other night, apparently, and she spilled the tea that Meri has already been given the all clear release from her dad in the AUB. Now, Sonia Ward, We're live on the TikTok. Sonia Ward says a release means she's not tied to him, into eternity or something like that. Ah, okay. That's what I wonder. I wondered what a release meant in the world of Mormonism and the AUB. Okay, thank you for telling us that. Also, TC says she's very nice and super interesting. We're referring to the woman that runs the account Notes to Self 444. So I gotta start like following her. She gives some firsthand knowledge. She knows this world. I also have, by the way, I don't know the release date yet because I have a couple of interviews in the can that I need to publish, but Ben Brown is going to be on my podcast. So Ben Brown, the Fresh King Benjamin here on TikTok, he's the nephew of Cody Brown. So he's going to be on the podcast coming up to talk about sister wives and his experience growing up in Mormonism. And Sonia Ward says, don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it means to have a release from the Mormon church when it comes to marriage. I mean, like, please. I mean, you can half the time. I don't know if I get it accurate. So you're close enough, Sonia, as far as we're concerned. Don't worry about it here. I mean, look, everything I do is all in fun. We never do rumors that set out to hurt anybody or destroy anybody. And if there's a correction, we make it. But we indulge in the gossip. It is fun. It's my favorite thing to do. I freaking love reading. I grew up addicted to the National Enquirer. Half of you on here probably don't even know what it is, but the National Enquirer used to be this cheap paper magazine at the front of every grocery store. And of course, they'd have like these outrageous stories that were never true, like, Batgirl found in Minnesota, and it would be like this, like they'd Photoshop back in the day, like a girl that looked like she was morphing into a bat. But then they had the greatest celebrity gossip of all time, and they would get the story right. I mean, they broke that Patrick Swayze had cancer and John Edwards was cheating on his beloved wife with Rael Hunter and had a love child. They posted that first. Do people remember this? And Bill Cosby, aka Bill Cosby. They're the ones that knew Bill Cosby was a creep and a lech back then. But I think he paid them off. But anyhow, they really did used to have, oh my God. So anyhow, I grew up in that era and I do love to indulge in a little fun reality gossip. Also, if you are new here, because we do have thousands of new listeners to the podcast, if you are just discovering the Sarah Fraser Show podcast, welcome. You can follow me on TikTok and, of course, subscribe to the podcast. Who am I? People often ask me that. And when you Google my name now, it comes up Sarah Fraser Married at First Sight because I was a contributor on season 15 and season 16 of Married at First Sight for their kickoff shows, their mid-season shows with Kevin Frazier, their after-party shows. So people think my husband and I met on Married at First Sight, which we did not. We did not. We met on an airplane, actually. We met on an airplane a decade ago. I'd had a few drinks. He was coming back from a bachelor party. I was working in radio. So I was a morning radio host in Washington, D.C. for 10 years on Hot 99.5's The Kane Show, and then DC 107.3, Sarah, Ty, and Mel. And I'd had a couple drinks, and I sat next to this cute guy, and I was like, all right, what's your deal? We were delayed on the plane. He was looking at weather apps. I hit on him, and then the rest is history. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. And I've been an entertainment contributor for Fox 5 DC for years. I just wrapped my stint up with them a year ago because I moved to Los Angeles. And now I have a top trending entertainment and pop culture podcast. And I put out a pod every single day. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, let's talk about some other things with Meri Brown and the show. Meri given the release. Y'all, we're talking about that. Marcia Jackson says, stop conflating Mormonism with the AUB. The AUB is not associated with the LDS Church. Really? I thought the AUB was a radical sect of Mormonism that traditional Mormons just do not recognize, but it does have roots in Mormonism. Am I wrong? I mean, I'm probably wrong. So, feel free to correct. But I thought the AUB was just a sect of because more traditional Mormons they ain't polygamous. They don't believe in it. But old school does. Melanie Love says, Sarah, that was my understanding of what the AUB was as well. Please. Little Lady Floral says, Sarah, you're right. Well, that's a first. Can you type that again? Can you type that? Type it one more time for me, okay? Because I'm rarely right. Meri joined our TikTok live yesterday. Well, she didn't join. She just popped on, and I wish I had seen her sooner because I would have tried to invite her up. I love my Meri. She's been on my podcast, and I think she's done so much work on herself. She was also did a TikTok video yesterday, kind of snapping back a little bit at, I thought, some comments, and she says that she's been happy for a hot minute. That people like to say Meri isn't happy and that Meri doesn't know her worth. But I thought this video she did, and you can go to Meri Brown's TikTok, see it for yourself. But Meri says that she's been very happy for a hot minute now. She also says that people judge her for a show that doesn't always show her best self. And she kind of takes a swipe and she says the show wants the drama, which is true. I mean, it's true, right? Every reality network from Bravo, MTV, Hulu, I mean, they are editing for the drama only. And she says that when people say that Meri doesn't know her worth, it's people's own projections onto themselves. And she says that she knew her worth so much that she stayed in the marriage with Cody because she knew her worth. And you know what? I thought that comment was so interesting. Now, everybody will have their own interpretation, but I took that as Meri going, you know what? I know I'm on a hit show. I know my worth. I'm not gonna just let him excommunicate me the way he wants. I'm going to use this. I don't want to use the word use, but I feel like she was kind of saying, like, you know what? I know what I'm worth. I know I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into this show, into this marriage, into this family, and I'm going to walk when I'm ready. Anybody else take it that way, or is it just me? I mean, I kind of thought her going, you know what? Which I do think is great. Look, if I were on a hit show that I helped, well, I was on a hit show and then the co-host was toxic and then I left. Okay, I do regret that actually. I shouldn't have let him win. I should have stayed and worked it more for myself. Anyway, it all worked out, but I thought that's what Meri was going for. I really did. Um, the other thing, okay, let's talk about some other gossip and then I'll come back to, it was such a bizarre episode 3 of Sister Wives this week was such a bizarre cold open. We really didn't know until we went to the interwebs whose wedding Cody, Robin, Janelle, Christine, whose wedding they were actually attending. Now, of course, all y'all are so good at keeping the timelines and tracking everything. We learned that it's Logan and Michelle's wedding. But why wasn't it mentioned? Why? It was so strange. And I said to myself, did Logan send some sort of cease and desist to TLC? Is that why we didn't know who they couldn't name it? Anyway, I'll tell you, we do have an answer to that. But let's get to some quick other news. I freaking loved the rumor that Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner had allegedly reached out to Michael Ilasami from 90 Day Fiancé and were giving him legal help. Well, wah, 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 wah. They're not. This got picked up all over blogs, all over news outlets, and people credited me. And I'm like, don't credit me. It came from a YouTuber who I credited on the Sarah Fraser Show. Nobody does any research anymore, I swear. Anyhow, Michael says he has never been contacted by Kim Kardashian or Kris. They are not giving him brand advice and they are not giving him legal advice. That's a bummer. I'm going to be honest, because that was a rumor I really liked. That was a rumor I really, really wanted to be true. I really did. I thought this story was interesting because he hasn't popped up on social media in a real hot second. But does anyone remember Mahmoud and Nicole, 90 Day Fiancé? Just this past Happily Ever After season, they were featured. They were red hot for a minute. They'd moved out here to Los Angeles. Well, it all came crashing down because in February of this year, Mahmoud was arrested for domestic violence. So if you remember on the Happily Ever After, they did like 18 tell-alls. Oh, they go, okay, and part 6 of the tell, and part 7, I mean, Sean Robinson, I mean, poor thing. Oh my God, Sean Robinson must have been there for 6 weeks in those studios doing the tell-alls. Well, anyway, Mahmoud and Nicole were removed from the tell-alls. Okay. Basically fired, but TLC is not going to say that. They can't have a guy who's being accused of domestic violence up there when there's a police report. Well, Mahmoud, for the first time, essentially since spring of 2024, has now resurfaced on his social media. He posted just a couple of days ago a video in front of a night skyline and said, Allah has a plan for you. Then he went on to basically say, Allah, even in the face of adversity and things that are wrong, always, is your true star and can, can guide you. Now, a lot of people have are they still together? Is Mahmoud back in Egypt? I mean, I live here in LA. I had to go rat-tat-tat on their doors. Mahmoud, you still here? Honey, what's going on? No charge. By the way, we can have a little joke with this because well, we can't really joke with it. Sorry, wrong thing to say. But no charges were in fact filed. In July, domestic violence is never funny. They did not prosecute. So we're not sure why they didn't prosecute, if there wasn't enough evidence, if Nicole didn't want to move forward, but the prosecution dropped, they did not charge him. So we're not sure where he lives, but he did in fact face that misdemeanor domestic violence charge. And then I can't imagine they're still together. People are saying that they were not surprised about the Mahmoud and Nicole allegations because there was something about him that seemed like he had aggressive anger management problems. I don't know. I can't imagine they're still together, but lots of time. Look, I've had girlfriends that men have put their hands on him and they're still with him. And somebody else says that Deb says that she heard that Nicole was dating somebody new. Right? I heard I heard her say she was dating. Wait. Or are you talking about me? Did I say something? Anyway, I'm not sure what happened to them, but he has resurfaced on social media. If you want to follow along, they obviously were a very popular couple because they'd been featured on before the 90 days. They'd brought him back for Happily Ever After. They test these couples several times before they continue to use them. And Mahmoud and Nicole seem like a couple that TLC was going to use a lot more often. There was some speculation online, and actually I had a listener write this to me. I have a Reddit. You can go into my Reddit page, reddit.r/The Sarah Fraser Show. Great place to submit any questions you have for me. And one listener wanted to know, do you think, Sarah, they're going to do a special about Garrison Brown's passing, much like they did with Christine Brown Woolley's wedding? Oof, I can't imagine. I can't imagine they would do that. I mean, I'm still trying. I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Was the very first episode 1 of season 19 of Sister Wives, where we acknowledge Garrison's passing? Is that going to be the only acknowledgement this season? We do know, which is a rarity for TLC, they did pick cameras back up this past spring when all that tragedy happened. We know there was a family reunion where all the family came back together. Meri told me that, confirmed that when she came on my podcast. And from what I understand from family members, there has been some healing and some softening within the family, especially the kids. A lot of them have come back together after his passing, but I can't imagine they would do I mean, I think fans would be, I don't know. I guess it's kind of how they do it. Maybe if they did one episode as a tribute, would people be upset? But people are happy. They say, I love the respect that TLC showed by bringing it up the very first episode. Kelly Wag says, no, I don't think that they would. It's way too touchy. Let's see. Everybody says they want to know what Robin did to Mykelti or at the wedding that changed Mykelti's perception of Robin. I don't know that we'll learn that because Mykelti says she's not going to speak on it. Anyway, I don't have any personal knowledge. I do have a lot of TLC stars on my show. And in general, TLC does not make a practice of when people have events that happen in their lives. They don't usually pick cameras back up like we have seen with Bravo. An example of that is Kim Plath. Olivia Plath is on my podcast. You can go and listen to that interview. It is up right now from Welcome to Plathville. And she says, we are not going to see Kim Plath's DUI on the season finale of Welcome to Plathville. It's not happening. They're not doing it. And the other thing we know is Amy Slayton from Thousand Pound Sisters, who was arrested for all kinds of, I can't say the words because then I get a notice here. Look, she was in her car. She got bit by a camel at a safari in Tennessee, and she was smoking the green stuff and eating the old garden vegetables, allegedly with her man. Okay. She was arrested for that. They didn't pick cameras back up. She went to the courthouse with her sisters, no cameras in sight, just my fans taking phone shots of her and sending them to me. Oh my God, I want Amy to come on this podcast so badly. Amy Slayton, come on this show, girl, and tell us what is going on with you. Are you engaged? And what in the world were you doing with these kids in the car doing all this nonsense? Mm-mm, mm-mm. Anyway, I want Amy or Tammy on my show so badly. Okay. Another two people who are making insane amounts of money, FYI, especially Tammy Slayton, who has a new endorsement on her Instagram from a weight loss company. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Let's see. Did I get muted? Did I just get muted on my that probably will be that'll figure. I'm always getting muted on my videos. I swear to you. Okay, last story. And then I will do a TLC recap here. Last story. Oh, so I also saw this. It was very strange this week on episode 3 of Sister Wives. We open the show with just this cold open. The whole family is talking about attending this wedding and they don't want to go because Cody and Robin are on the outs. Yada, yada. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't we? I thought it was like another, because they say the people that were going to the wedding, they don't want to be named. So I thought to myself, this has to be like another plural marriage couple, right? Well, no, it's Logan and Michelle. Well, Michelle, I just saw this on Reddit. Michelle was on TikTok and confirmed that she and Logan did in fact tell the family they did not want to be mentioned on television. But they did not think that their wedding, the build up to their wedding would be a 20-minute focal point of this season of Sister Wives. Woo! Well, it sure as heck was. And unfortunately, it added to a lot more mystery because they didn't name who you guys were. So it got even more discussion. But anyhow, she is confirming that they are the ones that asked that they didn't name them. They're very private people, apparently. So go for it. Okay. I think that's all the gossip and the tea that I have today in the Sister Wives world. God, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, if you want to see, I talked about my Reddit. You can submit questions there. Also, I'm posting today a young throwback picture of Kim and Barry Plath. Now, clearly they are divorced. I am hearing some rumblings that the finale of season 6 of Welcome to Plathville, that this is it for the show, that it's the finale. It's not the season finale. It's the finale. Like Welcome to Plathville is no more. Mariah Plath has deleted all of her Instagram posts. I don't know. I mean, I'm Welcome to Plathville is the show that I started watching 5 years ago that got me entirely into TLC. I mean, I have to credit Welcome to Plathville for giving me like a career at a podcast, like why people come to me. I love the show, but I do hear rumblings and I think it could be a wrap. So there you go. Okay. Um, Hang on. Let's see. Okay. That's it. It was a boring season, Rhonda says. Well, Rhonda, you're not alone. I think a lot of people feel the same way about it. Oh, what am I talking about? Okay, wait. I have one more thing. I knew I had one more thing. Everybody follow Kim Menzie and Usman, aka Soulja Boy, who've been on many franchises of 90 Day Fiance. They have officially unfollowed one another on social media. They're done. Kim gave an exclusive to Us Weekly, and Kim says that she feels it is best for she and Usman to not follow each other any longer on social media so they can both move on. I thought that was like, okay. I thought they had moved on. So to me, I was like, Kim, are you saying you, because I love Kim. Kim has been on my podcast. Usman's been on my podcast. I was like, Kim, are you saying that you and Usman, and AKA Soldier Boy were still chit chat. There was still stuff going down up until recently when you two have unfollowed you. Kimberly, what are you up to, girl? I thought they were done. I thought they were done too, Whitney. But this is a new story where Kim says they just unfollowed each other. Excuse me? Y'all must have been fooling around a little bit if you two were following each other and now it's gotten too heavy. Kim's not going to like that. She's going to be like, Sarah, they are just friends apparently now. And someone said Jamal is so full of himself. I gotta say, I love Jamal and the guys that do all those videos where they do like the reenactment of NSYNC and I do love it all. Robert from 90 Day. I do. I think they are so good. I like Jamal on all this, on all the videos. I think what a clever way to get. And Josh, isn't it Josh, Natalie, Mort Sadova's man? He's out here in Long Beach too. I should get him on the show. I love him. And I think he's the genius behind their videos. It's so good. So good. Okay, everybody. Love you. Thank you for being on my TikTok. I'm going to let my TikTok people go and I'm going to recap everything that happened with Welcome to Plathville. Okay, bye, everybody on my TikTok. I can't give away the secrets of what happened. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you for being on. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, by the way, somebody on my TikTok said, have you had David and Annie on who are expecting a baby girl, by the way, after their IVF journey? Yes, I've had David and Annie on. Hopefully have them on again when they become parents, but you can search that interview on the Sarah Fraser Show. Okay, bye. Love you all. Bye-bye. Oh, wait. Okay, I didn't even hit it. Oh, my God. I'll tell you what. God, I'm so bad with this goddamn. Hold on. Okay, bye. All right, let's talk Welcome to Plathville, the finale that went down last night. So basically, we see the family. This is why I think it is over. We see the family get the band back together. Why is that significant? Well, if you recall 5 years ago when this show started, the Welcome to Plathville family started in a band. Kim wanted this family to be famous for a very long time. Well, they got their wish. They're all on reality TV. But we see the long buildup of the family get back together. But the family's pissed because after Mariah wrote all these songs, The Devil in a Suit and Tie, about this guy who Ethan says looks like Mr. Potato Head, she's back together with him in the season finale and brings him to the concert. What? Family is pissed. They have fights. Like Veronica says, it's like the Plaths with pitchforks. Ethan and Micah are like, I got a problem with this. We just sat through months of hearing Mariah talk about this guy, how he was so awful, gave her no resolution in her life, and now he's here. Now, we don't see him on the episode last night, FYI. Ken and Barry chill for a minute. They talk and they kind of have this kumbaya moment where, Ken's like, I don't think we're ever going to hang out and watch a baseball game, but I do think we can be friends and be friendly. Okay. And then kind of like showing how separate their lives are. Kim and Barry come out and they go, yeah, we both woke up in the morning because they're all staying at this resort and they're going to do this, family band moment together. And Barry's like, yeah, one morning I woke up and I went down to the beach and I ran right. And Kim's like, I woke up and I ran left. And they're like, oh my God, it's why we got divorced. Okay, get to the real reason, okay? Was the sex bad and the money in debt? Tell us the truth. But we don't even see Olivia until the very last 40 seconds. I mean, we're rolling credits by the time we see Olivia Plath. And we learn that Olivia is moving to Washington, D.C. Shout out! She's a DMV girly. And she's putting roots down. And her man, Brandon, lives in the DMV area. She's moving. Sounds like she's moving to Washington, D.C. proper. She's already there. And Brandon lives in the area. He's 20 minutes or so from her, and they are going to set down roots and start their lives together. So congratulations to them. But she basically ends the episode with, come visit. I think she could be visiting on a new reality show. I really do. Well, I loved Welcome to Plathville. I am hearing rumblings that this is it. And I hear that the ratings are phenomenal, but I'm not sure everybody from the family wants to participate anymore. And they have the problem of Olivia. I mean, Olivia is a huge part of that show, but does it make sense to keep her on the show? I don't think it does. Although I don't know, she's still not divorced from the old Ethan yet. So maybe. Maybe she pops in and out and we finalize the divorce. So stay tuned because I'm not sure if in fact we will see if we will ever see Welcome to Plathville again, but it's an incredible show. I owe them a lot. All right, everybody, follow the reddit.r/the Sarah Fraser Show for that picture of a young Kim and Barry Plath. You can also subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, hit 5 stars, tell me what you love about the show, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.